How's it going, guys? SlaneyHD here today. So today's video, I put a great bit of thought into it, into whether or not I should do it, how I should do it, etc., etc. And I came to the conclusion pretty much that, it's my opinion. What I'm going to be talking about is racism and how in today's society the word racism is being thrown around nonstop. It's all you hear about. It's all you see on the news. It's everywhere. Everybody's racist now. And something I've noticed over the years recently is that it seems that people are starting to separate and literally become more racist. It's something that I feel like I'm starting to see, and I don't know really the reason for this. I do have some ideas and some conspiracy theories, which obviously we're not going to go into that. I did take down some notes of a few different things I want to talk about. The first one is this notion of white privilege, which is something that has been trending recently, something that offends me greatly, and so I took a few notes. Anyways, for those of you who don't know what so-called white privilege is, it's basically saying that because of the color of white people's skin, white people have certain perks that minorities don't, and white people are immune to a lot of the challenges that other skin colors have to face, things like that, and that white privilege is shaping the world. And in my opinion, that is racist. And why I say that is because you're basically grouping white people, saying that because of their skin color they are privileged. That is racism. In my opinion, that's racism. And I'm not sitting here saying that there's not racist white people. Of course there's racist white people, but it's not just white people who are racist. Anybody can be racist. Now, I have a few things that I did some research, a few things I found of examples of what people wanted to pinpoint as white privilege. And these are pretty extreme, almost comical examples. So the first one is, there's an article I read, and it's about Band-Aids. And it pretty much stated that if you go to a pharmacy or Walmart or something like that, and you go to the Band-Aid section and you look at the Band-Aids, majority of them are white. And that is an example of white privilege. That's ridiculous. To me, the way I think about it is, it's business. There are more white-skinned people in America than other colored skinned people. So the Band-Aid companies obviously will sell more of the white colored skin Band-Aids than other colored skin Band-Aids. And me personally, I don't give a shit what color the Band-Aid is. I'm going to use the Band-Aid. When I go look for a Band-Aid, I don't look for a Band-Aid that matches my skin color. I mean, honestly, I don't even fucking use Band-Aids. Another example I read is that if you go to hotels, hotel shampoo caters to white people's hair versus African Americans' hair. And again, my opinion on that is, hotel shampoo is shit regardless. I don't use it, I wouldn't use it, and I wouldn't recommend using it unless you're in like a 5-star hotel. But it's stuff like that just really pisses me off, because it's just not true, in my opinion, and it all it's doing is promoting more racism and more hate. So very quickly, I don't want this video to go on too long. I want to get to a few other points I have. So there's programs such as de facto, which is created to get minorities into college with lower SAT scores than people of white color, skin color, or Asians or whatever with higher SAT scores. So my point of that is that if white privilege is to sit on the sideline while a minority gets accepted into a college with a lower SAT score versus your higher SAT score, then why would you want to have white privilege? I don't see the privilege in that. I've debated getting into the whole police brutality thing and the recent shootings and whatnot, and I'm going to only speak on one. And I will go ahead and say this: yes, there have been some unjust shootings and racist shootings of white cops shooting black men, and they have been unjustified. I'm not going to mention which ones, but I will be the first to admit there have been cases of white cops shooting black men or killing black men when they shouldn't have, and they were probably racist. But the one case I do want to bring up is the Ferguson case, the Michael Brown case. This was a perfect example of a bullshit story. The media painted this image of this guy as a gentle giant. That was the name they gave him. And it was just built on lies. The facts came out. He strong-arm robbed a convenience store, punched a cop in the face, tried to take the cop's gun, had gunpowder residue from the cop's gun on his hand, and he charged the cop. And now these aren't just these aren't just opinions. You know, these were confirmed by witnesses. Not only witnesses, but these were confirmed by African American witnesses. And the shooting was found to be justified. And like I said, there was multiple African American witnesses. And the point I'm trying to make is that we need to get away from the whole race thing. The color of your skin does not matter. In my opinion, if it had been a white guy who robbed a convenience store and then punched the cop and charged him, the same thing would have happened to him. The cop would have shot him. I 100% believe that. And I'm sick of the media, and I'm sick of people promoting this racist agenda. And I feel like it's just dividing this country more and more. And it really bothers me. I hate to see people, you know, rioting and violence and these acts of whatever because of skin color. I think it's destroying this country. It really is destroying this country. In my notes, I said I don't have the answers for this, and I really don't think anyone does at the time. What I wrote is, I do believe that race has to be taken out of the equation, and what I mean by that is we have to focus on helping these areas of high crime and poverty, and etc., and not focusing on the race, the color of people's skin, but more so on the culture. Because simply put, everyone just wants, when there's a problem, look at Chicago, or you look at these areas where they have lots of problems, you see racism come up, and they say, oh, racism is the problem. Racism is the problem. That's the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. But there's no solutions. So I think instead of focusing on all these racist agendas and movements, we need to focus on solutions and uniting with each other and forgetting about skin color. Like, I 100% believe, regardless of whether you are white, black, Asian, Indian, green, yellow, brown, purple, whatever your skin color is, I truly believe that you are just as qualified as anyone else of any skin color to go out in the world and be successful. In my opinion, it comes down to how hard you want to work. You know, personally, I work for a company where the guy I work for, he immigrated and came over here, and he worked his ass off and got to where he's at now. He's a successful business owner, and he's not white. Not that it matters. It doesn't matter what skin color he is. But what matters is that he went out there and he worked his ass off to get to where he's at. And that's what I want to point out is we have to stop putting into people's minds that because of your skin color you're at a disadvantage, because that is not true. It's not. And what you're doing by telling people because of their skin color that are at a disadvantage is you're putting these thoughts in their head that because they're black or because they're white or Asian or whatever, that they're going to have trouble with this or problems with this. No, that is not true. People need to understand that it doesn't matter. If you're willing to work hard and you're willing to fight for your dreams, you will be successful. And I think I'll end the video on that. And I wanted to keep this as unpolitical as possible, but obviously politics play a huge part in this. I'm not going to get into that. But before any hate comments or any of that shit comes in, like I said, the point of this video is that, for me, we need to step away from the racism. We need to forget about skin color, and we need to focus on solutions. We need to focus on fixing the problems and stop blaming things on people's skin color. And I'm going to end the video on that, and I'm going to hope that making this video has a positive impact. Like I said, I thought about making this video for a very long time, and you know, I kind of did a pros and cons list in my head, and I just ended up saying, you know what, I'm going to make the video, and I'm going to hope that it has a good impact on the community. So I'm going to leave it at that. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Please, by all means, leave your comments, suggestions, questions, anything like that down below, and I will be sure to respond. Thanks for watching.